can you tell us some secrets of rigging so that people can be aware going up to the elections and what people should do as we speak?
The danger of what is going to happen in 2027 as follows. At the polling units, presiding officers' lives are going to be in danger. Presiding officer says that there's no network. You are going to put the life of that presiding officer in danger. Meanwhile, the children of all the political elite are not going to be at the polling unit. It's the youth corpus that they're going to be faced with.
As soon as I saw this particular update, I knew I had to bring it here. Like, I need to show you what is happening. And sincerely speaking, what you're about to hear will leave you speechless, honestly. So I want you to take a listen carefully to what this man said. This man was actually one of the few, one of many people who started this INEC, this voting of 18. He was one of them. And he was invited to speak about the recent issue going on with the Senate, House of Assembly, everything. And this man, he literally said everything, because I don't even understand why the Senate and others are deliberately insisting on passing this electoral bill. What people actually want is that they want a live transmission of results, not this manual. This is 2026 for crying out loud. So what exactly is their problem? But before I allow you to watch the full video, I want to ask you a question. What can you actually say about the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and the National Assembly? Please feel free to share your genuine opinion in the comments. Now take a listen. I'll be right back.
I need to clear something here. And that is that Nigerians have been wondering that for the past 2 years, I have decided to switch off painfully with respect to anything that has to do with our country. And I put my television on Chinese station, not because I hear Chinese, because I have spent over 30 years of my life, 10 practical years in INEC, together with other Nigerians, on how to remove the history of our election from the poetry of frustration and pain, so that we can give meaning and purpose to the ballot as the best means of the expression of the will of the people in a democracy. If after a decade of effort in this direction, we are still back to where we are, and given the fact that when I left office in 2022, I was not part of the 2023 elections, but I was part of those who educated Nigerians. That is why people have been holding me accountable. That on this channel, Arise Television, when I left office, the Duke of Delta, Ndoka Abagbena, I called him. I called John Momo, Raymond Dokwesi, the TVC, and I said, I have decided that all the requests for consultancy, I turned everything down. That it's unethical, that having worked in a commission, having been part of those who develop the processes, it would be wrong of me to take any appointment from anybody. On this Arise Television, for over 1 year, you never charged me a dime, nor was I paid by INEC or anybody, but for the service of the country. To now find that all that we did are now in vain, that's why I don't regret that I wasted my 10 years in the service of the fatherland, because I would have been a dead man by now. My colleague in Kano was killed, the family wiped out, because we wanted to do the right thing for our country. But today, the value pyramid of Nigeria is upside down. If you are bad, you can do well in our country. So that's the reason why I switched off. But as I noted somewhere, there comes a time, no matter what, we have no other country other than Nigeria. I would have left when I was in university, but I stayed back because I wanted a country for us. Despite being locked up by Abacha, kept everywhere, and all that. And so, having done all of that, to find out what we are going through is the reason why I switched off. Therefore, your question as to the statement I issued, history is a graveyard for contending opinions. What I put out there is an empirical evidence of how they have suffered. Because the resistance against a credible election in Nigeria has been long-standing. Dr. Gobadia was the first to set up the ICT unit in the INEC. It was a unit in his office and later a full department. At that time, they used the OMIR to try to sanitize the process. From there to Iwu's era, where you have to use DDC, machine capture machine. Iwu set up the VSAT across 774 local governments for transmission of results of the 2007 election. It was sabotage. All the billions that were spent wasted. Jega era came in. We started and we identified all election rigging processes, and that the EV system must be carried out. The EVs has 4 tracks: the biometric registration, biometric accreditation, e-voting, and e-transmission. But as we're doing that, the members of the National Assembly, under Section 52, they were scared and they prohibited the use of any electronic thing. In fact, they used the word no electronic voting machine. That was the language that was used. But we came in, we saw Section 49, Section 52, Section 68 are the clear election rigging provisions. And for 20 years, we fought to get those provisions removed. Now, having done that, by the time Jaga came in, we started with what do you call biometric registration, with the first time that was carried out. Then you remember that we call TVC, temporary voters card. From TVC, we moved to PVC. From PVC, we moved to smart card reader to deal with Section 49, which is the election rigging provision in our laws. All right, we did to deal with that. But what happened? By 2015, of course, the sabotage from within and from out was a major problem. In 2015, by the time we brought the card reader was not a voting machine. Card reader was meant to deal with Section 49 that says that a presiding officer, once you are a voter who's registered in a polling unit, once you come, if he is satisfied, it should be given what he call a ballot to vote. That was where politicians started buying voters' cards, warehousing everything, rigging election. We needed to sanitize it. That was why we brought the idea of the smart card reader to identify, confirm, and authenticate a true voter at the polling unit. But what happened? When the matter went to courts, the apex court of our fatherland painfully declared that, the smart card reader, beautiful device, however, it should have been written in the Electoral Act. Today, the debate that has held this country down for the past 2 months or thereabout is brought about by the Supreme Court of our fatherland. And I'll give you what the Supreme Court did, how it has thrown everything in disarray. Supreme Court tribunals declared that the regulation and guideline of INEC that stated clearly on the basis of our historical experience that where the results that have been declared at the polling unit that expected or mandated to be sent to the IREB, so that when the result is already on the IREB, nobody will change it. Supreme Court said that IREB is an amusement center, it's a viewing center, it's of no effect and all that.
Omo, a lot they occur. Thanks for staying connected, by the way. So you can see that things are indeed happening. I just had to let you see that particular side of this update so that you can understand what we are talking about and you see what that man said. Now, Rufai Oseni asked this man an important question. What should we be expecting come 2027? What are the risks? What are the problems? What should we be expecting and how can we actually overcome these challenges? And what this man said, Omo, no be small thing. Please do well to support us, like this video as you're watching and subscribe for more updates. Take a listen.
The truth has to be said. The horse has bolted away from the stable. We know that those that supported card reader and they called for electronic votings are the ones against it today because it's not going to benefit them. But we know how they spoke to you, supported card reader and all of that. So they have gotten what they want. As we speak today, what's on the IRF is not justiciable. Can you tell us some secrets of rigging so that people can be aware going up to the elections and what people should do as we speak? The matter is already gone. This house we have, they can't be trusted. They are rubber stamped. They've already passed what they want to pass. It is us Nigerians that remain now, those that still have the interest of the country as that. Point out the areas they might likely use to rig with the law that is on ground and how Nigerians can be aware.
Yes, why pointing that? Because actually it becomes this whole engagement. But the fact that I have accepted this invite.
We have to. You
know,
will not relent.
I see this as a mere academic. But let me quickly say this here. And that is that for 10 years, particularly from the Jega leadership up to Mahmoud Yakubu, so much effort was done for e-transmission. There was the INEC NCC report on electronic transmission, which was ready as at 2018. Remember that under the Buhari administration, regrettably, a government that came in through the risk that most of us took, they refused to have amendment to the act. It was only in 2019 that there was no electoral act to amend all the issues we identified in the 2015 election. What was the reason given? Was that ECOWAS required that 6 months to a process they commenced in 2016 eventually there was no Electoral Act in the conduct of 2019 election. Now, when the debate with respect to the 2022 Electoral Act, don't forget that Buhari regime rejected all the bill 4 times. Yes. Rejected it. Those around the president ensured that it was not done. But there's no book of remembrance in our country. If not for those of us who did the right thing in 2015, those in power in 2015, they will not be there today. Yes. But the moment they came in, they eliminated everybody that was nice, all the director and all of that. Yeah. That is what happened. So
all the arguments, don't make it. We know they are lying already. We've debunked all the arguments long ago. It has been passed. So how can we, the areas they are going to use to rig, tell Nigerians, all those arguments, we've made it in the past. We know they are.
The consequence, the danger of what had been passed is that we are bringing back what we call incident form. This is another version of incident form. Yes. Because there will be no network. History is a graveyard for contending opinions. When we introduced Carida, we decided to have an application for those who don't have fingers. So that we are looking for all-inclusive electoral process. Yes. But you know what happened? Politicians connive with INEC full staff. That application for only those who don't have fingers was now used to use incident form. The whole of community no longer have fingers and all of that. You see, discretionary power can be abused. The danger of what is going to happen in 2027 as follows. At the polling units, presiding officers' life are going to be in danger. Because where Nigerians are gathered, results of polling have been announced. Everyone could look at his telephone and you could see network. But the presiding officer says that there's no network. You are going to put the life of that presiding officer in danger. Meanwhile, the children of all the political elites are not going to be at the polling unit. It's the youth corpus that they are going to be faced with. This is a clear danger. Okay, so with respect to that, so what they are going to do now is like an incident form. Another version of incident form, which for you to sabotage the entire.
Another one. Can we take another one so that we be revealing all the secret to the people?
I don't think any of these things I would like to say here.
Let's say it. That's why people will hear it.
Because first, one of the danger of what they are trying to do is this. You know that in 2015, in 2019, there were evidence of collusion of some of our staff when they gave the serial number of EC8A in certain polling units for people to print. So when you now have what do you call it from EC8A that have the same serial number and the essential feature, and they are transmitted to the IRF, which one are you going to pick?
So they're going to print EC8A.
Yes, because in 2015 it happened. Yeah. In 2019 it happened. When INEC went to court to charge, some of the people came to the Senate. 1 or 2 persons. It was a common knowledge. Came to the Senate. They produced INEC results. But the essential feature were not complete. INEC went to court. Regrettably, the court upheld a fake result produced by, even when INEC distant, it said that this is not our original copy of it.
A lot they occur, sincerely speaking. Now, make it not be like say I take side or I support anybody. No, I don't do that. The only thing I do is that I just try to give you what is trendy and let you form your own opinion. So that was the reason why I'm bringing this kind of update for you. And trust me, you don't want to miss this kind of update because that is what I do here. I post related content like this, crime, politics, everything. So to be part of our community and to always stay updated, do well to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss any updates. Now, before you go, I want to hear what you honestly think about what this man has said in the comments. What do you think? Because you sitting there saying this doesn't concern you or more, it concerns each and every one of us. That's just the bitter truth. And just like the popular saying, what goes around comes around. We need to do this together. So what do you think? How do you think we can overcome this and what is the way forward? Just like what this man said, he said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not pass that bill. But who are we to tell the president what to do? Because even if we protest from today to next year, these people, they know exactly what they are doing and they know what they will do. So let me know what you think in the comments. Once again, don't forget to like if you are yet to like, share this video and follow us for more updates. Thank you for watching. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.